Hello, this time I reviewed two games based on Disney's 30th animated film, Beauty and the Beast. Sunsoft released two games on the Genesis based off of this movie, Belle's Quest and Roar of the Beast. Belle's Quest was released on August 21st, 1993, and while I could not find the exact date on Roar of the Beast, it was also released in 1993. Let's start with Belle's Quest, since that's where I started. This is the better of the two games, but that is not saying much. It starts out pretty much right where the movie does. Belle's going to the bookshop, or so you think. You're supposed to go all the way to the right till you find this rock that needs moving, but due to the misleading text, you feel like you need to go to the bookshop. Alright, let's get this party started.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Oh my God, that is a horrible instrument choice. The synth really pierces right through your eardrum and melts your brain. Okay, so you jump and duck and, well, that's about it. That's all you do. You jump and you duck and you avoid these birds. So, yeah, it's off to the bookshop to continue the journey. But wait, the bookshop is just a minigame. Yet in order to figure it out, you have to do it over and over again until you get tired and go to do something else. Even the minigame is confusing. You're supposed to catch the books and then separate them by color, I think. So in the town, your only enemy is Rapey and his brown-nosed sidekick here. I mean, this little dick comes up, he's like, "Hey Gaston, she's over here!" And then this rapist chases you down. I mean, look at this Mike Myers walk, he's just coming strong without any hesitation. You can hide in plain sight in these doors and look back and forth like a total dumbass, and the only thing that's stupider than her hiding spot is the fact that Gaston and Short Round here can't find you. So after all that, you go all the way down, you find the rock that's in your way. Then you go back and use your superhero-like powers of manipulation to get Gaston to move the rock for you. And then you go get this book. Why? No idea. You head back to the village and then boom, level done. You then go to the scary forest and shit gets heavy. I played this maze for the majority of the time, and I was so lost. It was crazier than the Lost Woods over there in Hyrule over there. But it turns out that the maze is really easy if you just listen to the guy with the pumpkin. With his directions, it took me like a minute, and I was out of there. Turns out pumpkin farmers are smart as shit. Belle should have got a pumpkin from him too in case she ran into any Endermen out there. You never know. So then there's some story, and then there's this mini game where they just start hurling utensils at you and you're supposed to catch them and earn points. But the problem is they don't explain this, so the first thing they throw at me is a knife and I think, "Run!" Then you flash when it hits you like you're getting hurt. Next you go through the West Wing, and this part is really complex and it requires you to collect keys and open doors. By this time, I got myself a walkthrough, so I was just following what it said, but I could see how this part could be, like, even harder than the forest, because it was only a certain amount of keys, and if you didn't go the right way, then you were effed. So you go outside and jump along these balconies, and then steal some of the beast's things. But by this point, they give you the coolest thing in the game, which is the mirror. It just tells you where to go, which makes everything so much easier. You go all the way back, and eventually find the rose thing. Beast is all pissed, you run away, he saves you, then you dance, and this part, you just dance for what seems like ever. And you catch these rose petals, and it's like ice, and I'm not even kidding, it is way too long. The last part of the game I found to be almost easy. It's back to the old dodge the birds of the first level, but this time you're on a horse. So you just run and jump and dodge and make it to the end, and then that's it. Wham bam, thank you ma'am, you're done. So then he turns all human-y, and then you do the super extended but nobody wants to be in it dance scene, and then it's like boom, and you're done, and credits, and ha-da-ha-da-ha. Now, on to Roar of the Beast, also known as One Hard-Ass Game. Major difference between the two games is difficulty. So in this one you can punch, duck, bite, and jump. Also you can roar and everything freezes. So you start out protecting the rose from enchanted animals. You fight through the castle till you reach what I thought was a boss. This bear has the reach of Tyson. I mean, he was ridiculous. I finally button mashed like I have never button mashed before, and he was defeated. But it took me like forever, and it was only the first level. Then, I'm not sure if this was a separate level or just like a part 2, but eventually you come to this warthog in the Rose Room, and the warthog was maybe the easiest boss, only because I figured out the strategy to beat him like right away. Punch and run. Punch and run. Then you're running around outside and there are bears and stuff. And this game has something that I have never seen before. Ice platforms that fall down when you jump on them. This wolf was just another insane boss in a line of, I think, 4 insane bosses. It took me forever to beat. It was one of those situations where I kept thinking, put the controller down, step away, take a breath, and come back with a rage-free mindset. Which was followed by, fuck that, I'm gonna beat this stupid game, I'm not gonna beat it right fucking now, I will not be humiliated by a game! Next came the last level and maybe one of the most bewildering parts of the game. You have to knock these guys into your friends, where they die for good. No explanation was given, just like everything else, so I beat the hell out of these guys for quite a while before I realized that they just were not going to die. And by accident I figured out that if you knock them in here, they disappear and they die. After 3 stages of that, you spend some time climbing the castle while people shoot arrows at you and force you to use obscenities out of anger while you die repeatedly. Those assholes. Finally, you make it to Gaston the Rapist. Finally, I am within grasp of ending this horrible game, but first I have to beat the hell out of this guy for what seems like 6 months. He has an amazing amount of health, which they don't show you, ever. So I found this glitch, and it works for a while, but he gets smart, and then it won't work for a bit, and then you can come back and do it, though. So eventually, this jerk died, and it was over, and I was like, thank God. I give Bell's Quest a 2 out of 5, because it's better than Roar of the Beast, which receives a well-deserved 1 out of 5. And at the end of both the games, they give you this little message. And to you, game, I say you're welcome.